Hi, are you thinking of opening a lifetime ISA? Or are you wondering if a lifetime ISA is right for you? Then you need to watch this video. In this video, I'm going to provide a summary of what a lifetime ISA is, when you can extract the lifetime ISA funds, and share my own personal views on a lifetime ISA and using one.
Get strong.
Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Arjun and this is The Nimble Nomad, the channel where we talk about the tips, tricks and hacks to survive and thrive in the UK. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a lifetime ISA, and I'll also be going into when you can extract lifetime ISA funds and when is the best time for you to open one and whether the lifetime ISA is actually right for you. Now, before I get into the main content of this video, in case you aren't familiar with what an ISA is and aren't familiar with some of the common mistakes that you may be making, then I've done a video about this separately. I'll add a link of that above. If you're interested, please click on that link and go ahead and watch that video. Now, with that done, let's get into it. Let's get into the basics of what is a lifetime ISA and some fundamental concepts of using a lifetime ISA. So the lifetime ISA is a new type of individual savings account which was started by the government in April of 2017, and the primary target for lifetime ISA users are people between the ages of 18 to 39. And the purpose of the lifetime ISA is for you to be able to save money that you can use in your later life, i.e. post-retirement or post the age of 60. If you are over the age of 40, unfortunately, you can't open a lifetime ISA. With a LISA, you can deposit a maximum of £4,000 per tax year, and for every contribution that you make, the government will contribute 25% towards that contribution, up to a maximum of £1,000. So the maximum that you can contribute into a lifetime ISA is £4,000, and the contribution that the government is willing to make into a lifetime ISA is £1,000. So therefore, the maximum funds that you can hold in a LISA every year is £5,000. Now, the key thing to remember is that the lifetime ISA contribution adds to your total ISA contribution limit within a tax year, and the tax limit or the contribution limit that you have within a tax year is £20,000 for any or all ISA contribution. So if you, for example, made a contribution of £4,000, you would only have £16,000 left as part of your allowance for a tax year. Once you hit the age of 50, you won't be able to contribute any more into your lifetime ISA. So the maximum period during which you can add or pay into your lifetime ISA is from the age of 18 all the way up to 50. And of course, you can't open a lifetime ISA if you're over the age of 40. So another key thing to remember is savers who use a lifetime ISA as a saving mechanism and start saving at the age of 18, if they make consistent maximum contributions all the way up to the age of 50, which is £4,000 per year, you have the potential of earning £32,000 in just pure government contributions or bonuses. Now, this is a massive bonus or return on your investment by just pure cash contributions within a savings account. The main thing to remember is the cash that you put into your lifetime ISA can be held either as cash or it can be invested in stocks and shares, and this is actually another bonus fact. So if you invested the money, you would actually get a appreciated return over an extended investment period. The last and final thing to remember in terms of fundamentals is that if you decide to withdraw the money, you will be penalized 25% of whatever you've put in. So I'll get into more detail on this specifically a little later in this video. So the next thing is, what is the actual primary purpose of a lifetime ISA? So the lifetime ISA actually has two primary purposes. Number one is to help people buy their first home, especially if you're buying your first home which is priced under £450,000 in the UK. And the second thing is massively to help people save money for their retirement. So if you're looking to build a bit of a nest egg and you want to use some money once you retire post 60, then this is a great instrument to save some money for the long term. So for when you retire or when you are no longer working. So the next thing is, you're probably wondering, when can I actually use your lifetime ISA funds? So the first situation and scenario, as I explained earlier, is that if you decide to buy your first home. Now, the key criteria for being able to extract money when you're buying your first home is the home needs to be under £450,000. It also needs to be purchased through a mortgage, so you can't be a cash buyer. So you've got all this cash lying around and you just decide to go and buy the house. You need to have a mortgage. The third thing to consider is that you can't extract the funds from your lifetime ISA unless they've been invested or put into the lifetime ISA for at least a 12-month period prior. So just keep this in mind. This is a really important point. And the other thing is, you need to use a conveyancer and go through the full mortgage process in order to be able to use the government bonus that's added into your lifetime ISA pot as well. The final thing to remember from a funds extraction and buying your first home perspective is, if you're a couple buying your first home, then it's even great, because what you can do is you can combine the allowances of two people. So if your partner has a lifetime ISA and you have a lifetime ISA, then you can use the funds from both of those in order to be able to purchase your first home. Now, the second scenario is, obviously when you hit the age of 60, the funds automatically unlock, including any appreciation if they're invested, and the government bonus that's been added in over the years. So from the age of 60, the funds will be automatically available to you and you can use them as you please. So this is more from a long-term post-retirement perspective. And the third and slightly more grim scenario is, unfortunately, if you are terminally ill and you have less than or up to 12 months to live, then the lifetime ISA becomes automatically available to you as well, and you can access it. If for some reason you don't actually use your lifetime ISA funds and you die, then the requirements for the lifetime ISA end, and they can be passed on as inheritance to whoever you choose to do so. So a lot of people at this point are probably thinking, this is fantastic. I put in money, I get some bonus, I don't have to do anything. The government adds a bonus and my cash automatically grows, and that's fantastic. But just keep in mind that when you need to withdraw money, you actually get penalized if you're not withdrawing it for one of the two reasons I mentioned earlier. So if you're not buying your first home under 450K, or if you aren't using that money for retirement, then you are going to be penalized, and the penalization fee is 25% over whatever you're withdrawing. So let's take the example that you decide to withdraw £1,000, and if you withdrew £1,000, you'd actually only end up getting £937.50. Now the reason for this is, let's work it out backwards, is if you put in £1,000 into your lifetime ISA within a tax year, the following month, the government will credit your lifetime ISA with a bonus, and your total principal becomes £1,250. So the 25% on £1,000 is £250, and that total becomes £1,250. Now, when you decide to withdraw the money, because the government has already put the bonus in and you're withdrawing the money before you're meeting any of those legal requirements to be able to use the lifetime ISA, you get penalized 25%. So if you deduct 25% from your principal of £1,000, then you end up with £937.50. The main thing though is, you need to remember, if you're watching this video in 2020, the government has actually relaxed the rule of 25% penalization. So basically, they've reduced the penalization fee from 25% down to 20%, which means that you actually get back whatever you paid in because of the ongoing situation globally. So in March of 2020, the government said, you know what, a lot of people are going through financial hardship. We don't want to make it worse for them. We're going to relax this rule. And if you want to withdraw the money, then you can do so. I'm going to add a link of this from the Gov website in the description below, and I'll bring it up on screen now so you can see this. And so this is really, really great news. So in case you're actually wondering whether you can withdraw money, this might be a great time if you actually need the money, or if you feel that the lifetime ISA is not a great option for you, or you thought about not using it, then this is a fantastic opportunity for you to actually use the lifetime ISA funds for any other reason that you may need it. So what are my own personal views on the lifetime ISA? Now, before I actually get into the specifics of my own personal views, let's clarify some facts. So fact number one is you get an instantaneous 25% on your contribution added to your account, albeit there's a month's gap typically, but you're getting £1,000 for £4,000 contribution. That's a 25% appreciation within one tax year. Now, this is absolutely unheard of anywhere else in the world, right? So if you went and invested this money into a stock market or elsewhere, you would not get 25% immediately on any sort of investment anywhere. Fact number two is that any money that you put into your lifetime ISA is completely tax sheltered. So if you earn interest on this, or if you had capital gains because the money was invested into stocks and shares, or if you had dividend payments through the investments that you made through a lifetime ISA, all of these would be tax-free. So fact number three is if you decided to invest the money in your lifetime ISA for an extended long-term investment view, the principal plus the bonus, then you would have, on an average investment, a minimum of 33.8% return. So I'm talking about the 25% that you get from the government bonus, plus the average stock market return is about 7 or 8% over a year. So if you combine the two, on the average, you'd be returning at least 33 to 34% over an extended period of time. Now, this is a fantastic return on investment. So just keep these three absolute facts in mind. Okay, so what's my personal view? Do I have a lifetime ISA? What do I use the lifetime ISA for? So my personal view on the lifetime ISA is yes, it's a fantastic saving and investment tool. It's absolutely tax sheltered, and it's especially great if you have two objectives or goals, right? Number one is if you want to buy a house and the house is going to be used priced under 450k, fantastic. Number two is if you want to use the money for savings or retirement planning, then this is another great mechanism because you're getting this great fantastic long-term return on your investment. So what do I personally use the lifetime ISA for? So both my wife and I actually have lifetime ISAs, and what we've decided to do with the funds in our lifetime ISA is contribute to a special exchange traded fund, and that ETF basically the funds from those ETF are going to be used towards our twilight year costs. And what do I mean by that? So when we get to a really old age and we need special healthcare or assisted living, then that's when we plan to use some of the funds from there in order to pay for those costs. The way we are actually investing the money is both my wife and I put in £100 each month into each one of our accounts, and it goes automatically into this specific investment that we've chosen. Obviously, we think that that fund is going to appreciate along with the government bonus, so it gives us a great return over a long period of time. Now, the real rationale that we've adopted for using the funds for that specific reason is because I personally feel that modern medicine is going to get better and people are going to live a lot longer. Now, as you get older, the cost for paying for assisted living or special healthcare can be really expensive. And I just feel like planning now for that period of my life is really important. And I don't want to be a burden, especially on my children or my grandchildren whenever I get to that stage. So it's a little bit of forward planning that we're doing, but that's what our primary purpose on the lifetime ISA is. That's all I wanted to talk about in this video. If you thought that was helpful, please smash the like button. I'd love to get your thoughts and comments on what you think about the lifetime ISA, whether you use one. If you did decide to open one, what would you use the lifetime ISA for? And if you think I've missed anything in this video, I'd love to hear your feedback in the comment section below. So please smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.